Build ID returned 1 instead of 45, overwriting your production Docker image. The root cause, a deprecated variable that silently corrupts build numbers. Let's break down Jenkins environment variables reference, how it works, and the exact mistake behind that failure. Jenkins environment variables are key-value pairs that provide context about the current build to pipeline steps and shell scripts. They are set by Jenkins core and plugins and can be overridden or extended by users. Jenkins provides a set of built-in environment variables automatically set for every build. Memorize them, but never rely on build ID. In declarative pipeline, use dot notation env, var in Groovy and var in shell steps. Never mix without understanding expansion order. Stage-level environment variables override pipeline level for that stage only. They are not available in subsequent stages. Use script blocks for global changes. In scripted pipeline, withEnv sets environment variables temporarily within a closure. After the block, variables revert. Use env, var for permanent changes. Sometimes you need to set environment variables dynamically based on conditions or external data. Use script blocks to read files and set env, var. Jenkins provides a secure way to inject credentials as environment variables. The credentials binding maps a credential ID to environment variables. This is the same issue we highlighted at the start. Here's exactly why that happened. The shell script used build ID to tag the Docker image. After a Jenkins upgrade, build ID started returning 1 for all builds, overwriting the same tag and losing rollback capability. The root cause is using the deprecated build ID variable, which after a Jenkins upgrade returned 1 for all builds instead of the actual build number, causing Docker image tags to overwrite each other. The fix was to replace all occurrences of builded dollars with build number dollars. We also added a validation step that checks builded equals build number and fails if not. Build ID is deprecated and may return inconsistent values. Always use build number for the numeric build ID. JNKINS home is only set on the master node. On agents, it's not available. Avoid using it in pipelines that may run on agents. WORKSPACE points to the workspace on the node executing the build. On agents, it's the agent's path, not the master's. Always use env, WORKSPACE dynamically. The article states build ID is deprecated since Jenkins 2, 2016. However, in Jenkins 2.44+, the version tested, build ID may still be present, but its behavior is undefined and plugin dependent. The safest approach is to treat it as completely unreliable and replace it with build number in all pipelines, regardless of Jenkins version. The article mentions reading variables from a file, but only shows setting them globally via env. For temporary scoping, use withEnv with dynamically generated key-value pairs. This snippet reads a JSON file and sets variables only within the block. When using credentials in environment, the injected variables are automatically masked in logs. However, if you manually set a variable containing a secret, e.g., via env, secret equals, it will be visible in build logs unless you explicitly mask it using the mask passwords plugin or sh, set+x. To diagnose environment variable issues, print the variable value in a shell step, or list all variables using the env object in a script block. Let's run through some common interview questions. Difference between build ID and build number. Build ID deprecated, build number reliable. How to set global env var in declarative. Use pipeline-level environment or script env, var. How to share env vars between parallel stages. Use pipeline-level variables. Parallel branches are isolated. And a few frequently asked questions. Is builded removed? No, still exists but deprecated. Can I use env var in shell? No, use var or env var with interpolation. How to list all env vars? Use sh, env or script env. To recap, never use builded, use env. var in Groovy and var in shell, remember stage-level scoping, and always reference WORKSPACE dynamically. Ready to go deeper? Up next, Jenkins build triggers. Find them all at TheCodeForge.io. Thanks for watching. The full article and code examples are covered in detail at thecodeforge.io.